our alternative segment. Stay tuned for a guitar tutorial on REM's The One I Love. In this multi-stream, I'm going to show you about 5 different concepts that will help you play. We shall be right there.
Play like a pro at String Sound Studios.
Good day. Good day, Mike Violette of String Sound Studios, and we're coming to you multi-stream from using Restream live from Setauket, Long Island, New York. That's where we are. And again, as I mentioned in this multi-stream, I'm going to do about 5 or 6 different concepts that will help you play The One I Love by REM. Now, again, please subscribe to all our social media, YouTube, Facebook, whatever. We're on Instagram. Look us up, TikTok. These multi-streams are not on everything, not on all those channels, because it doesn't have the capability yet to do that, especially on, again, Instagram. But we're streaming to 2 Facebook channels, YouTube and Twitter. Those are the 4 or the 3 big ones. And there's some more obscure ones as well. Okay, if anyone can hear me out there, realize that you do have the chat box over here. And you could, whatever you see me on, you could ask me questions and things of that nature. So just say hi, whatever it is, and I'll try to talk to you. And I like to try to stick with the song. So again, we're getting going. Here we go. Subscribe to everything, Vimeo, whatever we're on. Now, one of the things when you do this, we got about 5 different concepts. Okay? I have arpeggio picking, moderate syncopation, minor pentatonic sounds, suspended 2nd and 4th chords, and of course effects to get that sound. I'll explain that at the end, what I'm using a little bit if you want to ask and you're out there. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to work on that opening riff. So let's get going here. And I'm going to zoom in as usual. I'm going to hide behind the chat box, but that's okay. So you can see this nice and big. Here we go. All right, we're going to start off now. A couple things here. We have a little bit of syncopation and we have some hammer-ons here. So we're going to talk about that in arpeggio picking. Arpeggio picking is the main thing, but there's always other things going on. Right? And that's one of the main things about this song. Remember, I play here so you can see it nice and big. We're starting out, and this is in E minor, right? This song, E minor. So we're going to start out on this low E. That's your first note, then we're going to hit it again. And we're going to go like this. All right. So let's get that first riff, playing it here. I'll go to the D. So I'm going to go to the D. We're going to play this again. Ready? 3, 4, 1, 2. Now, if you notice what I'm doing, I'm playing this E, I'm playing the open E again, playing this F sharp here, hammering it, drag the pick. If you're using a pick, or whether you're using fingerstyle or not, don't lift up and hit it again. Watch. You see how I did that? So sometimes what I see is people do like this. They'll go like this. They'll lift the pick up again, lift it up again, and go like that. I think in this case, because you're playing on adjacent strings, just sweep pick it right across. So we have this. let's take a look at that again. And remember, I do things for purpose of illustration so you can see things. I'm playing here, and sometimes I'm bringing my hand out here so you can see what I'm doing. I would not recommend going like this, okay, when you're playing. However, you can see that when I'm showing it to you. So here we go. Again, 3, 4, 2. Let's listen to that syncopation. 1, 2, ba da da da. So you're coming in. Yes, you want to listen to it, but you're coming in on 1, of course. You're coming in on the and of 2, okay? And then 3 on B3, it's 3 and 4 and. So basically, we're coming in on the and of the harder, more syncopated parts. We're coming in on the and of 2, coming in on the and of 3, and the and of 4. So you get this sound. I'll play it here, 3, 4. Again, 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. That was slower. Got that? Okay. You can always go back over the, I'm not going to go back over. You could always go back over the, rewind the video a little bit. Remember, this is live, but these just become videos, folks. All right, next part. So now we get, this is, in my view, this is like right out of an E minor 7 chord, okay? And we're arpeggiating a little bit more in the next section. And I'm going to show you the next riff here. So we're going to start from here. 1, 2, 3, again. Now we go up to here. Then we play this D. So you have this open E. Now let's take a look. I'm going to start right on beat 2. That's where that next high E comes in. It goes 2, 3, and a little more arpeggio picking. E minor 7 chord, right? 3, 4, 1. So again, here we have a slide. Before we talked about the hammer. Ready? Again, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Let's take a look real slow. 3, 4, 1. One more time. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and you want to play the slide. Let's talk briefly about the slide. I have this. When I'm doing this, folks, try not to keep, I'm going to pull my thumb up here. We don't want to do this. Okay? Let your whole hand come up and apply pressure. Okay? But be loose. There's no reason to grip the guitar very hard when you're doing this. It's a matter of technique. So if we take a look at my thumb, look what's happening. It's all coming up with my hand. All right? I'm going to play that first riff. I'm going to try to do it here. Then I'll go back and play it down here normally. Okay? 3, 4, 1. Again, 3, 4, 1, 2. And watch the picking here too. All right, this is I'm getting good at this. This is not easy to do, and again, of course, you don't play like this. You know, you're just tapping and all kinds of other things. But as far as picking, I guess you can. I mean, I'm doing it to show people. But 3, 4. So now I'm going to play that down here. I'm not going to zoom out. I just want you to watch my left hand and listen. 3, 4. Okay, again, 3, 4. next part, okay? Similarly, same arpeggio picking out of an E minor 7 chord. Okay? That's the sound that we're playing over. So you got kind of this sound here, right? E minor, simple E minor 7. I mean, you could even do this here. Right? You play all of these just like this. Let's take a look, and he's putting minor 7 sound up here. Now the next part, I'm going to play it, and then we'll talk a little bit about the theory and the rhythm. 3, 4. Again, 3, 4. 2 and 3, 4. Okay, mainly you're going from the 6th string to the 5th string. Right, open E, you jump all the way up to here, the open E, then to the D. That's the first part of that. Well, let's take a listen again. 3, 4. Again, 3, 4. Listen to the sound. Ready? 3, 4. Now what? Well, basically what you have is you're going to play these open. So we have on 1, 2, and 3, right? 4, and. So once again, we're coming in, my more syncopated parts are on the and of 3 and on the and of 4. And that would be the D and the E. That is going to get tied over to beat 1. That E is going to get tied over, and then we're going to play arpeggiated using the first 3 strings. So let's take a listen to this first part again of the second, if we want to call it the second phrase. Ready? 3, 4. Remember, that's going to be important. Right? That second E you're playing in there is going to get tied over to the first bar. So if I'm going to count it. Ready? 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. Again, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. And a 4 tied over to beat 1. Right? That's what's going to make this arpeggio and this thing sing. You have to really focus on those rhythms, or else it's not going to sound right. Right? Other alternate ways to play it? Yeah, but learn it the correct way first. And I believe I'm showing it to you the correct way. There's other people out, that's not right. I believe this is correct. I listened to it. I actually do have the music right there. Okay, that's what they say. Anyway, so you play that. Now, the next part is going to go 2. All right, so we got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's take a listen to that next part. Okay, the last bar of the intro. Okay, I'm going to count 1 and come in. 3 and 4 and 1. So it's 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, 3 and 4 and 1. All right, 1 again. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then it goes right back to the beginning. Now I'm going to play the second part of that phrase, okay? Second phrase. 3, 4, 1, 2, and. Again, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4. I messed it up. 3, 4, 1, 2. 3, 4, 1, 2, and. Again, 3, 4. Ready? Ready? 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Sorry, I keep missing this D. All right, folks. 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Okay? Let's take a listen to this whole thing. 3, 4. Again, 3, 4. So again, it's tricky to play like this. That's the sound of it. All right, I'm going to try to play the whole thing like this. Ready? 3, 4, 1, 2. Again, 3, 4. That's your introduction, okay? So work on that, minus some of my mistakes. I know it's a video, it's supposed to get it perfectly every time. That's the gist of it. I'm gonna play it again from here, because this intro is where it's at. 3, 4. Again, get that as close as possible to that. If you happen to be playing and you change it, just keep going, all right? And you make a mistake, just keep going, okay? Like I did. All right, next part. Now we're going to get into the verse. I'm going to talk to you about, there's two ways I'm going to show this to you. I'm going to do the arpeggio picking. However, I'm just going to go through the chords, the strum pattern of the chords. Because we have an E minor, a D sus2, all right, E minor, we could say there's an E minor 7 in there, and quickly, and then back to an E minor for this next part, the verse part. Then we have a pre-chorus, and I'll show you that. Okay? But first, let's go over the chords. Now, when you're playing this, yes, there's a lot of arpeggio picking. I'm going to show you that as well. But first, let's make sure you'll know the chords. Okay? It's an E minor. Then we're going to do a D sus2. So when I do my D sus, you could play the E minor like this as well. Being that you're in second position, right? Then you go to a D sus2 like this. This isn't the hardest change. So if you want to play an E minor, play it like this. D sus2. When you play an E minor chord, I'll do it this way, right? Open, 2, 3. Now, again, when we're playing chords, yes, we're supposed to play close to the frets. However, let's get this here and try to get that in as close, okay? Because you can't play everything close to the fret when you're playing chords. So that's why it's like that. The main thing is you're up, you're away, and you're not blocking any other strings, right? When you're doing this, make sure, for example, this is not running into this. This is why you want to play on your fingertips. Practice a lot of chromatic exercises. There's a lot of reasons why you want to play like this. You have this here. Okay? So I'm out of the way of everything. And again, learn what is the appropriate place for each individual chord you're playing. And that'll, you'll subconsciously do that, right? Or consciously, however, after a while. If you take a look at my fingers, I'm playing this E minor chord. Yes, you want to play on your fingertips. That goes with any chord, but where? If you're playing too far here by your nail and you're not around, you're going to mute notes. So that happens to be very important that you play on the proper place of your fingertip. Now, a fingertip is a general statement. Play on your fingertips. Well, there's different angles and things you have to play. So that's important, all these detailed things. All right, so you have this. Then you go to the D sus2 chord. D sus2 is, well, it's with an E in it. We'll call it Sus2. It has an E in it with no F sharp. That's a D chord. Think of a D chord like this, if you know that. Okay? And you go like that. Again, watch the shape. All right? You want to be like this on the D chord. You're a little bit back this way. E minor, you're a little bit more square if you're playing it this way. You can play the E minor like this. These two fingers. And then go to the D sus, you're in the same position. So let's strum these two chords. Ready? I'll do it this way now. 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Back to E minor. Make sense? Now we got to talk about the strum pattern. There's a quick minor seventh in there. I don't think it's that necessary to do that. Just get the gist of the strum pattern. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to strum the chords. We want to strum them like this. 3, 4. So watch my strum pattern. Down, up, strumming. Ready? 3, 4. Okay? Get a strum pattern, and you get this sound. 3, 4. Something close to that. You know, if you happen to feel the need to do something a little bit different, then do something a little bit different. I'm going 1, 2, and 3, and carrying that over, letting that 3 and tie over, and then play the D. I'm kind of doing the rhythms all the same. Right? So I'm going 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and again 3, 4, 4, 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and the last one I play on the 3 and 4, okay, as you noticed. Now that's one guitarist. Let's say there's an overdub. What are they doing? What is the guitarist doing? His name escapes me. What is the guitarist doing? The other guitarist doing, or if there's an overdub, okay? So you got chords going on. Oops, Sus2, right? Let's go. Let's show you what the music says. Now, these are all straight eighth notes. They're not syncopated, okay? So far we talked, it is arpeggio picking, we're still on that. We talked about moderate syncopation, okay? We have minor pentatonic sounds. That's what these are over. So you want to look up, minor pentatonic sounds, do that. I'm not getting too involved with the theory, and we talked about Sus2 chords a little bit. So those are some more concepts, okay? Watch this. What you need to do, yes, this is E minor, but it's even simpler as far as the fingering. Because what happens is you need this picking. 3 and 4 and 1. And, this is not easy from here. 3 and 4 and 1. Let's take a look at that first bar. Take a look at what I'm doing. I'm playing from the 6th string, 1st string, 2nd, jumping to the 4th, then back to the 1st, 2nd. So that's kind of your arpeggio picking over the E minor chord. 3 and 4 and 1. One more time. 3 and 4 and. Okay, so here's how it sounds. A little quicker. 3, and I'm of course playing back here where I'm supposed to be. 3 and 4 and. Of course you're going to have to get that quicker. Ready? 3 and 4 and. Listen again. 3 and 4 and 1. Okay? 3 and 4 and 1. I'm not showing you, I'm showing you where the notes are. Try to do the rhythm. I'm not showing, well, you should pick here, down, up, this, that, if you were doing finger style. Okay? I don't want to get into that because everyone holds a pick differently and does finger style a little bit differently. That's an entirely different thing. I'm showing you the notes, showing you where they are. Yes, you should practice some kind of proper picking technique with your teacher or yourself, or finger style, whatever it is. Now, next, we're going to go to a D sus2 chord, which we already know because we practice strumming it. As far as the picking goes, no, nothing syncopated there. So we have this 3 and 4 and. So your picking pattern is going to go from 4 to 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. So you go. Hear that? Open. I love sus chords, sus2, sus, especially sus2 sounds. You use the Latin rock. So you again, your picking pattern is going 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Let's take a look at that. Again, if I make mistakes, don't shoot me because I got this here. Right, 3 and 4 and. Again, 3 and 4 and. All right, here we go. I'm going to play the D chord. Of course, I'll play it normally where I would. Okay, 3 and 4 and. Again, 3 and 4 and. Remember, you have to listen. Okay, listen. And get that close. Again, if you happen to do a little bit differently. Okay, get the chords going. Get the arpeggio picking. I'm showing exactly how it goes in the score. All right, next part. Comes right out of an E minor 7. We're going to put a D in there up here. So let's take a look at what he does here. This is the third chord. Ready? 3 and 4 and 1. And I hold that, okay? Or you can play an E here. More about the first part. So 3 and 4 and 1. 3 and 4 and. Okay, again, I'm playing this 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's syncopated right there, right? Then I go G. And I'm letting that ring. When you play the song, every time he does the verse, the phrasing, he does that a little bit differently. I'm just keeping it the same way. You can play it the same way. It's not much different. Okay? So let me try to play this from here. Ready? 3 and 4 and. 4. And I let that ring. So here's how it sounds. 3 and 4 and right out of this E minor 7. Remember, you're jumping around, so you're not playing that A in there. The only thing you don't hit is that 5th string. Okay? Let's take a look at that again. 3 and 4 and 1. Ah. Ready? 3 and 4 and 1. 4. All right, let's take a listen. Ready? 3 and 4 and 1. Okay, again, listen. 3 and 4 and. I messed that up. 3 and 4 and. So it's mainly this and these strings. Here, here, and here, and throw that in there on the end of 3. Okay? There you go. Now, I'm going to play the whole verse part. Then we'll talk about the pre-chorus, which to me is just a little bit, it's just strumming. Let's take a listen to the whole verse part. I'm going to arpeggio pick it. 3 and 4 and. Listen to that again. 3 and 4 and. All right, remember what I said. I could, once I get the gist of this, I can, maybe make it something that I'm a little more familiar with, or change it. I would say live. Does the guy play it the same way all the time? I don't know. They're not playing live so much anymore. I think they don't play together anymore. Watch. The last part I did differently. I just felt like doing that. But again, get the gist of the chords. You could write out, Mike said to do it this way, and that's fine. But if you feel a little need to change it a little bit, then change it if it's not working for you. All right? So I'm not saying play things wrong, but, learn to play them different. They're not wrong. When I used to play in, wedding bands, all that, I played a lot of bass, quick story, and I'd listen to the tune, I'd figure it out, then I'd just improvise around that. I'd get the basic groove of the song. Right? So we don't have to sit here and go, well, on the third beat of this, you play and miss the D, whatever. I'm going to make mistakes. They're not even mistakes. They're just sometimes you just feel different about playing things a certain way. Okay, so get the groove, get it right, get the chord changes right, of course, and in time. Next, the pre-chorus. Let's go to that. So here we go. Let's keep it simple on the pre-chorus. He does some arpeggio picking. I'm just going to show you the chords, though. So you have a G chord, a D sus4, and a C chord. Now, rhythmically, and how you want to play the G chord is like this. Okay? I would play it this way, playing a lot in second position. So when you do the first riff here and you slide up, playing a lot in the verse and the pre-chorus, a lot in second position. So you have this G chord. When you play this G chord, this particular G chord, you want 2 here, 1, 3, 4. So I have this. Remember, keeping out of the way of the other notes. All right? This shape is more like a D. And there's a reason why I want to play the G chord like this and not like this. And I'm going to get into that right now. So let's strum through the first chords. Here's your G chord. We're going to go to D sus 4. Watch. All right. I don't even need this. I'm just showing you D shape. Look at this, folks. I have these anchored here. They're in the G chord, by the way. When I go to the D sus 4, right? I'm not even going to take this off. I'm just showing you. Okay? You just go like this. You don't even need this. See that? So we have common tones and common fingerings. All right? A common tone is, let's say, when two or more different notes share one or more of the same chords. Okay? You got a G chord going to a D chord, we have common tones. In this case, not always common tones and common fingerings. But in this case, we have this, which is common fingering. So, and then you go like that. Try not to lift up. You don't want to do this. Watch. And lift the whole thing and reform the chord, right? Always look for how can I get to the next chord? What's the simplest way? What's the least amount of movement? And it's this. Now we're going to go to a C chord. The C, the voicing for the C is like this. Okay? So you can't play it in this position. Might not sound bad if you do. I'm not saying don't. So we got a bar G, bar D sus 4, 2 bars of C, 2, 3, 4. Look at this. Here's my C chord. 3, 2, 1. If you're struggling with this, leave it out. Just the G on top. Or play the chord and do this, think this, C chord, then this. Okay? Now you notice the shape goes like this to this. So that, my hand position is kind of like this, right? When I go to that C chord, I got to angle back this way. Look at the shape of my hand. It's more diagonal. That's important. You don't want to go like this and go like this, and your hands will be all crunched up. So yes, your thumb pivots around. If you're on a chord like this, my view, your thumb, right? Look at your thumb is more that way. If you're on a chord like this, well, my thumb is a little bit differently. Okay? Okay? My thumb's more. It's hard to say. My thumb's more like this over here. Just there. See? Oh, same thing on the G chord. When I switch to the C, it's more down here, right? Because you have to get this comfortable. It's more here in the middle, right? And it's more square. So I'm becoming acclimated. My thumb's becoming acclimated with the chord change. Go with the chord change. Let your thumb float around. That's important. All right, let's talk about the rhythm. All these detailed things, but hey, I'm a detailed guy. Let's talk about the rhythm. All right, the rhythm is this. So I'm going, the gist of it is 1, 2, and. Da, da, da. Carried, notice that thing, a lot of after beat 3. When you're talking about syncopation, you're in 4/4 time here. Beat 1 and 2 are on this side of the bar. Beat 3 and 4 are on the other. Okay, so look at it like that. I got 1, 2, and find beat 3. Locate the middle of the bar. When you're reading and really know where that middle of the bar is when you're dealing with syncopation. This way, you're not getting lost there. You can break it down into 2s. 1 and 2 here, 3 and 4 on the other side of the bar. So basically you have this, 3, 4. On that C chord, it's 1, 2, and, right? And then, and 4, and, tied over to bar 1. Let me play the G chord and the D sus, then we'll play a little bit more on the C chord. All right, ready? 3, 4. Listen to that sound from G to D. 3, 4. Okay. D chord, D sus actually, D sus 4. Okay. 3, 4. I'm not getting too much into the theory, but the sus 4 has the 4th degree. It has a G in it, as we know from the common tone. So if we come from D and we go D, E, F, starting on D, G is the 4th degree, okay? Which usually resolve to a major chord, not in this case though. Okay? But that's fine. And the sus 2 has the 2nd degree, D, E. That's why D sus 2, D sus 4. Sorry. All right, let's talk about that C chord. All right, C chord, basic first position chord. Remember I had this on it. And then the rhythm is the same, the first part, as the G and the D, sus 4. However, you're tying that over on the and of 4, you're tying over to the and of 1 of the next bar. So you have this. C chord sounds like this. Let's do without this first. 3, 4. And I hold it and let it ring. One more time. 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3. And 4, and 1. 2. So I'm going to put this in. Now, listen. 3, 4. Messed up. 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3. And you get something very close to that. Let's play the whole pre-chorus. And the good news is, in a minute, we're going to talk about, most of the parts of the song. We're going to talk about the form a little bit. Well, let's play it from the pre-chorus. Ready? 3, 4. Now I'm going to strum it here. Listen. Now watch. 3, 4. Okay. Nice and slow. You strum that. You practice that. Listen to the bass. I'm going to play the bass line. Right? Listen to the bass line. Sometimes it's just good when you're playing chords. Say, I'm having a little trouble switching, but listen to the rhythm. Listen to the bass line of the chords. So you have this sound. Okay? And get that bass line, then you throw the chords in. Probably played a little bit different there. Get the gist of it. Now, good news is, what happens, we're still in the pre-chorus. What happens is you go back to the verse part. Play the same identical verse part. So we did introduction, which is the, that, and then you have the verse. Okay? When he gets into the verse, you have this part. Well, that's pre-chorus, starts like this. Here. C. Then you go back to this. Okay? You go right back to that verse part, which is the second part of the pre-chorus. Then, in the chorus, you go to the opening riff and you play that. You play that twice again. That whole da 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 da. All right, we're gonna do the solo later at 5:15. I'm gonna show you that. I'm gonna play the whole thing. You pretty much know the whole song. You have to just listen to the form. Listen to the form. You want to listen to the form so you know it goes intro, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, and then it does that whole thing again. Then after the second chorus, he says fire, that's where your chorus is, it does the solo. The chord changes over the solo or from the pre-chorus part. So G, D, Sus, C. We'll talk about that later, 5:15. If you're watching this video and you want to do the solo, well, we'll do the solo later, okay? And of course, you can watch these videos later. I think what we're going to do right now is zoom out and play the whole thing. Just at the end, okay? At the end of the song, you have these same chords. You have to get the rhythm for that. 2. This chord, right? And then, so let's go over that a minute. Sorry to go over. Let me zoom back in. Let me just show you the end. You have that opening riff. The rhythm's a little bit different, but you have this sound. 2. And he retardandos. He's got what you call chordino triplets. 3, 4. 1, 2. Go to a D chord. Go to this chord, right? And here. You got that kind of augmented sound there, okay? Here. So play this like this. Then we're gonna go right to the E minor. So you have this sound here, right? What do we got? C sharp augmented. Here. D flat augmented. Nice. Going to. I mean, you can't call this chord here. Let's see. Oh, sorry. No, that's right. D sharp. Like a B7, which would make sense going to the E. Okay. So you have that G on there. We could say it's B7 sharp 5. It's an augmented chord, so or D sharp augmented. Okay. Nice sound. That's the James Bond sound right there. To the E minor. Let's take a listen to that end part. 3, 4. And listen to that. That rhythm, it retards there, and the rhythm is of chordino triplets, the second part. Okay? So, but you have the chords. You listen to it. Then he has, fermata there, so he holds it out longer. That's basically your song. Remember, I'm going to do the solo later. I'm going to play the solo now. I'm going to try to play the whole song for you. I'm going to zoom out. And this way you can hear how the whole song sounds. And I got my alternative glasses on. So when you see that green, you know I'm doing an alt, right? I think. All right, here we go. Ready? Oh, before I do that, all right? We're talking, what am I using? I'm getting this, effect sound, right? So I have that tremolo sound. I'm using a amp tweaker swirl pool. It's a great pedal. It does a lot. And you get, that tremolo sound. You get the vibe sound. You can switch it on back and forth. It has 2 different channels. And you get that that vibe sound from it too. Kind of sounds like that Fender Rhodes thing. You can make it sound like. I'm not going to go too crazy, but check out the swirl pool. Okay? It's a great little pedal. Check out amp tweaker stuff. I'm not sponsored by them, but I use a lot of their stuff. I love their pedals. They have some neat pedals out there. So yeah, the amp tweaker swirl pool. It's an expensive one. And it runs on 18 volts, so you need a separate, I'm sure they'll send that to you. So if you plug it into your power pack, realize, wait a second, I'm on 9 volts on these other ones. Okay, it'll still work. I don't think it won't work well. It just will cut out, but I don't think you're going to destroy it or anything. Just realize you're 18 volts on that. All right, here we go. I'm going to play the whole thing with the looper and my little backing track here. Here we go. 2, 3, 4, 2. Okay, there you go. Looper shut off. So once again, I hope you enjoyed this live stream and these become videos. We're all over the place. Please subscribe to YouTube. Definitely YouTube. That's a great venue to watch it, or a great platform to watch it on. 2 Facebook channels, String Sound Studios, or Mike Violette, that's me. Twitter, Instagram, everything. Remember, I can't broadcast this to Instagram. It just doesn't have that capability yet. I don't know if they ever will. But a lot of other things as well. I could be on Twitch. I'm generally on the big ones, and like things like TikTok and stuff, you can't, that's another one, you can't live stream to that yet. LinkedIn you can. I'm thinking about doing LinkedIn. It's a little bit different than some of the other ones, but I have the capability to do that, just haven't done it yet. All right, so please sign up for my Play Like a Pro video courses, all right? You got some really great, go on my website, you got some great beginning courses, midway blues courses, ukulele courses. There's not that many up. Trying to sell them. They're very inexpensive. You'll have those a lifetime. So you're, $30, you download them, they come with backing tracks, and you get me teaching you. All right, so I had another great day here teaching. We will be back later if you're watching this video in the future. I'm going to do another one, so you can look for the solo for this, and I'll be back later if you're watching now. And remember, folks, do this.
Play like a pro at String Sound Studio.